is the land of natural beauty with diversified histories, incredible culture and heritage sites. Our country is one of the largest growing economy of the world, and in the growth of our country, Paradeep is playing a key role for development of southern eastern region. Paradeep is a natural deep water port on the east coast of India in Jagatsinghpur district of Odisha. Paradeep Port is one of the premier maritime gateways on the east coast of India. Indian Oil Corporation Limited or IOCL is India's flagship national oil company. Indian Oil plays a vital role in maintaining the oil security of the country and meeting the energy needs of the fastest growing nation. Indian Oil is the leading Indian corporate in the Fortune Global 500 listing, ranked at 137th position for the year 2018. Indian Oil accounts for nearly 50% petroleum product share, 35% refining capacity and 71% pipeline capacity in India. Indian Oil has established its largest and most modern refinery at Paradeep. The refinery has used 2.8 lakh metric tons of structural steel, which is equal to 30 Eiffel Towers. Paradeep Refinery is the largest refinery of Indian Oil with world's largest diameter vacuum distillation column. For ensuring smooth, timely and economic supply of crude oil to IOCL's coastal and landlocked refineries, Indian Oil operates and maintains crude oil unloading systems called as Single Point Mooring Systems or SPM, both at West Coast and East Coast of India. Indian Oil is operating 3 SPM systems and 4 offshore pipelines in the Bay of Bengal. The 3 SPMs are located at a water depth of around 32.0 meters, 20 kilometers offshore at Paradeep. SPM 1 was commissioned in the year 2008 and SPM 2 and 3 commissioned in the year 2012 and 2013 respectively. SPM 2 is having 480-ton pipeline end manifold PLEM measuring 28 into 11.5 square meter that is equipped with 9 hydraulically operated valves and tie-in spools. This is the largest subsea manifold and spools installed ever for any SPM terminal. All the 3 SPMs are connected through loop lines involving complex tie-ins between subsea PLEMs. The total length of offshore pipeline is 92.0 kilometers. Crude oil is unloaded from very large crude oil carrier through these systems. SPMs are designed to handle tanker up to 3,20,000 DWT. SPMs at Paradeep meet the crude oil requirement of IOCL's refineries at Paradeep, Haldia, Barauni, Bongaigaon and Guwahati. The SPM, which is essentially a conventional catenary anchor leg mooring or CALM system, consists of a floating buoy anchored to the seabed by 6 catenary chain legs which are secured to anchors. One twin mooring hawser arrangement holds the tanker captive to a rotating part. The rotating part freely weather vanes so that the tanker can take up the position of least resistance to the prevailing weather at all times. Fluid product is transferred via the SPM from or to the tanker by floating and subsea hose systems. Berthing of tanker at SPM or jetty and use of shorelines is decided prior to berthing of the vessel in coordination with RHQ. Prior berthing, pre-berth checks on SPM system are carried out. Vessel berthing is done by port pilots. IOCL officer boards the tanker with pilots for SPM berthing. Once vessel berthing at SPM or jetty is completed, IOCL shift officer and boarding officer to establish communication between shore and ship. After completion of berthing, floating hose connection to ship's manifold is carried out using ship's crane. Boarding officer collects all the relevant cargo documents, ensures alleging of crude oil tanks of the vessel in presence of surveyor and vessel's chief officer. Shift officer line up the nominated tanks for receiving crude oil from tanker in coordination with boarding officer. Crude oil is pumped by tankers' pumps which are moved at the SPMs into storage tanks located onshore at Paradip via 48-inch OD, about 20 kilometers long offshore pipeline and 0.5 kilometers long 48-inch onshore pipeline. Depending on vessel berthing at SPM, various combination of receipt route can be utilized for receiving the crude oil in pipeline and refinery shore tanks. After completion of discharge of crude oil, all ship tanks are inspected for any ROB quantity. Vessels cast off from SPM after clearance given by IOCL officers and sails to next port. The sea condition remains quite rough in Bay of Bengal during the monsoons and is prone to cyclonic disturbances. The SPMs are subject to severe weather condition throughout the year, especially during the monsoon season, that is from May to October, where normally wind speed exceeding 20 knots and swell height exceeding 1.5 meters are encountered. During this period, there's constant water splashing on the SPMs and flexible hoses are subject to cyclical loads. To overcome these challenges, a number of innovative approaches have been taken for minimizing the SPM downtime and maximizing tanker turnaround time by adopting out-of-the-box approaches which can be considered as industry best practices. Since commissioning of the SPM-1 at Paradip in December 2008, numerous challenges were encountered which were tackled successfully over a period of time. SERPL Paradip Station is the originating station for Paradip-Haldia-Barauni pipeline. The station has facility for pumping the crude oil from tanks to Haldia through underground pipeline using a combination of booster pumps and mainline pump. SERPL Paradip Station can also supply crude oil to Paradip Refinery AVU facility for refining. Offshore pipeline pigging facility is also available for ensuring internal cleaning and inspection of pipeline.
Largest crude oil offshore crude receipt, operation, storage and pumping terminal, which is Paradip. It is largest because we have 20 tanks of 60,000 kg each and we have handled around 31.3 million metric tons last year, which amounts to around 42% of the total crude handled by Indian Oil. What is so special about this location is it is also co-located with the refinery, and the main challenges in handling the Paradip operations, which is very critical link in the supply chain of Indian Oil energy, is that Paradip is a grooming ground. It's a training school for young engineers who once have a stint in Paradip are exposed to all the facets of pipeline operations, including offshore, LPG pipelines, multi-product pipelines, crude pipelines, tank farm. So when they move out of pipeline, they're ready to face any challenge that may come across in their life in the field of pipeline operation and maintenance.
Paradeep Tank Farm has 20 crude oil storage tanks, each of 60,000 KL capacity. The tanks are external floating roof, double-deck constructed in accordance with API 650. 15 out of 20 tanks were constructed during 2005 to 2007 and remaining 5 were constructed during 2014 to 2016. This is the crude oil installation with most number of such tanks in any one of Indian Oil's pipeline installation. Each tank is made up of more than 1,500 metric tons of steel plates and steel structural members. The tanks are provided with world-class fire safety protection mechanisms with automated firefighting facility. Hollow tube rim seal system coupled with liquid-mounted primary seal is one of the first in Indian Oil. Each tank has an area equal to half the size of a football ground and each dike has an area equivalent to 6 football grounds. Southeastern Region Pipeline is presently operating cross-country pipeline network of crude oil, refined product and LPG of a total length of 1,539 kilometers and a capacity of 24.5 million metric tons per annum or MMTPA, including recently commissioned Paradeep Raipur Ranchi pipeline and Paradeep Haldia Durgapur LPG pipeline in the state of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and part of southern West Bengal. Since commissioning of the facility, Paradeep installation has made significant progress in terms of cargo handling, helping Paradeep port in achieving higher throughput. The crude oil cargo handled through SPM systems has steadily increased from 1.55 MMT in the year 2008-9 to 31.3 MMT in 2018-19. Crude oil has emerged as the single largest commodity at the port as on date.
Under the Southeastern Region pipelines, we have got city gas distribution system for 2 districts actually. One is the Visakhapatnam, one is the Karimnagar in Telangana and Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. So this is the area where earlier we have not ventured, but with our innate capability and the brilliance of our employees, we are successfully implementing this. We have initiated a lot of work, we have completed the pre-project management activities, we have started procurement of the pipes and we have done the survey work, and our team is fully devoted. You can't say that this is the first time any company is doing. You must be saying that definitely there must be a lot of experience behind this. But our experience and the knowledge in the cross-country pipeline is helping a lot. And this looks like a very small thing for us as far as the city gas distribution infrastructure development is concerned. I am sure that successfully we will be implementing this assignment of city gas distribution. As far as this offshore is concerned, we want that whatever the development we have done here in the offshore of Paradeep, it should not remain within our organization. That's why we have entered into an MOU with the Dumaligarh refinery, because they are upgrading their refinery capacity from 3 million metric ton to 9 million metric ton. So this is the major thrust we are giving. Apart from as I told you that the Paradeep Hyderabad cross-country pipeline and the future the Paradeep Somnathpur Haldia product pipeline, these are the developments. So lot of things are there that keeps going on.
SERPL is actively working in the field of providing safe drinking water and protection of water resources, healthcare and sanitation, education and employment, enhancing vocal skills and empowerment of women and socially or economically backward groups in the state of Odisha, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. With IOCL's SPM system, Paradeep Refinery and plant petrochemical diversification, SERPL Paradeep has emerged as the energy hub in East Coast of India.